Well, good morning and welcome to CityLine. We are Zooming from my kitchen, and it's great to be with you wherever you are right now. We have a great hour ahead of us, or I should say 4 segments, depending upon how you want to work them. Later on in the hour, we'll be talking with the Crystal Judson Family Justice Center. We'll be checking in with them and see how they are doing with their continued passion and prevention of domestic violence during this time. Tacoma Opera will be here. Noel, who is the general director, will be here, and we're going to talk about virtual opera. And I just got done watching the Met Opera, and it was quite fabulous. So we'll have to chat about that as well. Tacoma Historical Society will be here to check in. And then, of course, our Pet of the Week will be here from the Humane Society from Tacoma, Pierce County. And then with me right now is Metro Parks Tacoma, but it's not just Metro Parks Tacoma. It is my beautiful co-host, Phaedra Redifer, who I love so very much. She is the Deputy Director of Parks and Recreation, and she's here to check in with us because we have all been very concerned about our parks during this time. Our parks are like family to us, and Tacoma is known for their parks. So please join me in welcoming from her beautiful home, Miss Phaedra Redifer. How are you, babe?
I'm hanging in there like everyone else, Amanda. Thank you for having me today.
Oh, honey, I would love to see you more. And one of the difficult things is now that we are all sheltering in place, obviously I'm not traveling, so you don't get to sit in my seat. But be forewarned, the minute this is lifted and I can travel safely anywhere in the world, you're back in the hot seat.
I'm ready for it. Let's get going.
Okay.
I look forward to it.
Sweetie, I want to talk with you about how I'm struggling for words because Metro Parks is so important to me. There is such an endearment that our city, a love affair, a long love affair with Metro Parks. And we have seen, I'm not going to cry, we have seen staff reduction of a couple of types. We have seen, after that, we saw the people like yourself and your team that took a 25% pay cut. We have seen, unfortunately, vandalism in our parks. So I want to talk about that before we get into specific questions about how Metro Parks is doing. So let's talk about some of the layoffs and some of the furloughs, and then where are we right now with Metro Parks's fiscal budget and what they are prepared to lose financially.
I appreciate that, Amanda. Our hearts go out to everybody with Metro Parks, those unfortunately who had to be laid off or furloughed, and those who continue to do the essential work that we can do in the current state that we're in. It's really difficult for us as an agency. We know that we have a deficit from our financial status. Once we had to close our facilities on March 17th, we lost a significant amount of incoming revenue. We have different revenue streams, which is fantastic. But when you shutter facilities and you stop offering programs, that equates to about 42% of our earned revenue. And we lost that immediately. And so that, coupled with the reduction in sales tax and property tax that we get, it really has compounded the devastation that we're in terms of financial straits. So we unfortunately had to make the extreme decisions to shutter facilities temporarily, as well as to lay off and furlough staff. So we have about 78% of our staff is laid off or on furlough status. That's pretty devastating to our agency. So we're left with 22% of our staff doing many jobs that we would normally not do, trying to balance the current jobs that we do and still plan for the future, because there is life after COVID. We cannot wait to get back out and serve our community in the ways that we've known to and the new ways that we're going to because of COVID. But in this current state that we're in right now, these drastic measures of shutting our parking lots off, of closing our restrooms, of not allowing people on our picnic shelters or in our community centers, these are extreme measures that we had to take because we have to shore up our gaps in revenue so that we can still provide and be open once COVID is in a better place or hopefully eliminated from our planet. So it's been really hard for us, and especially because we pour so much passion into taking care of our parks and having those direct connections with all of our community members. And that's been really hard for us as a Metro Parks community, knowing that those touch points aren't there right now. And they're all about keeping everybody safe, not just ourselves, but our community members. And as soon as we can shore these gaps up and continue to plan for the future, this is kind of the state that we're in. We also, for the vast majority of people that continue to utilize and tap into the system and the amenities that we do have open, so many people are taking great care of our parks because they know that when we can start bringing people back, we can pick up the work and keep going. Unfortunately, though, out of some of these extreme situations that the entire world is in, it's bringing out behaviors in ways that we just implore people, please respect our parks. If you pack it in, pack it out. If you see somebody vandalizing something, please call it in. And most importantly, respect the parks like you did pre-COVID. Follow the park rules and the park codes, because as soon as we're able to incrementally bring on our facilities and our assets and incrementally bring back our staff, we don't want to have to fix things that have been vandalized. We want to take care of the things that we weren't able to take care of while we've been at the stay home mandate. We want to just pick up where we left off, because we also don't have money sitting in the hopper to fix the things that need repair.
Absolutely. Phaedra, it seems like that, and I'm sure you will agree that information every day is new and ever changing. We know that the governor's recent extension of stay home, stay healthy was supposed to go until May 4th. We watched his daily briefing yesterday. Now there is a suggestion and a plan to open up on May 5th some of the national parks, golf courses, hunting, fishing. How will this affect Metro Parks?
I think it's important for us to really go back to Governor Inslee's press conference in the sense that he spoke very broadly about the state. And he really referenced the fact that this means different things for local jurisdictions. And that's exactly where Metro Parks falls at this current state. We do not have federal funding coming in to shore up our budget deficit right now. So we can only incrementally bring facilities and people on as slowly as we can and as we have the resources, and I mean the financial resources to do so. So for us within Metro Parks, we strongly and happily encourage and support Governor Inslee's message on Monday's press conference, but it means something entirely different for us here at Metro Parks in Tacoma, Washington. We still do not have enough money to flip the switch and bring everything online all at once. We currently have our recovery unit that is planning intentionally, methodically, and strategically how can we phase in the golfing and the marina in such a way that we're incrementally bringing staff back, we're incrementally teeing up some of our operations, but recognizing that those operations and those experiences are going to be modified. Until we can get more sure footing, we can once again start increasing the revenue streams to the district, and then we can incrementally start opening things back up. But just like what Governor Inslee said, this means so many different things for so many different jurisdictions. So while we want to give the community here in Tacoma everything that they're used to pre-COVID, it's just not our reality right now. So we do ask for patience and understanding and recognize that the work that we're doing behind the scenes right now are all in an effort to slowly bring things online so that ultimately we can be back online and on solid ground here in the very near future.
Absolutely. So well said. We've touched on the connection between nature and the outdoors and the well being of our citizens in terms of all the social distancing regulations. What are you seeing in terms of park usage? I mean, I live right by Wright Park. I see people in that park all the time with their masks on, running, social distancing, but that's only my small slice. What are you seeing as the deputy director?
So we continue to see people utilizing our parks throughout the system, which is fantastic. Clearly, there are certain parks sometimes that see an abundant amount of people, and we're hoping that they really truly are following the CDC's social distancing guidelines in an effort to keep them safe and the people who they're coming into closer range with. We have seen a lot of people wearing masks, wearing gloves. We love to see people recreating, whether that's a passive recreation experience, just sitting on a blanket and enjoying the beautiful fresh air, or running and cycling and walking in our trail system. What we recognize is that it is so critical that we continue to provide access to our open natural spaces to give people that opportunity for respite, for decompression, and really to just remove themselves from the intensity of all the information that's coming, all the extreme information that's coming, and how do they even process it. So we do want people to come into our park spaces. In fact, that's one of the reasons why we did not close our park spaces. We truly felt that just closing the parking lot gates, because those are magnets for people collecting and not honoring social distancing guidelines, we felt that that is a good stop measure to prevent that, to help people social distance. And also, we still wanted to provide these recreational spaces so that people could somehow better cope with the world in which we're living in right now. And we do believe that we are able to do that. We feel that the benefits are so much greater than had we shuttered our park system. And we've actually seen some data that 85% of people absolutely need to be in our park spaces to escape the goings on in the world that create those vulnerable spaces for them. So we're appreciative of that.
I am one of those people. I have found myself getting up and going for walks and using our parks more. And it certainly has a Zen-like effect when you can get away from all of the news, all of the Zooming, and all of the fear and the paralysis and the grief that's going on around us. I have a beautiful neighborhood that has children in every house I'm surrounded by, and I love these children. It makes me think about summertime and metro parks because that's always synonymous. So how will these changes affect the summer that Metro Parks is historically and award-winningly known for?
Well, you can rest assured that we will continue to put our best foot forward to provide the community what they need and what they want. We definitely want to meet the community where it currently is. I think if there's anything that the district does expertly is we meet the community where it needs us the most when others can't. So we are actively looking at what summer offerings will be, recognizing that our experiences and our offerings will be modified because of social distancing guidelines. We know that we won't be producing or hosting mega events. Those are definitely the conflict point that we're having with the COVID-19 situation. So we recognize that those are going to be off the table. As far as our camper experiences for our kiddos and our teenagers, we also recognize that we have to honor the CDC guidelines that do continue to change. And as we continue to get more data, we continue to change. So our ratios of campers to an adult, they may be smaller than what most people have experienced in the past, but we have such a brilliant team of experts who are currently working on the back end, figuring out with the data that we know in keeping the community's health as our paramount beacon to keep pointing at. What can we do? What does the community need? And how can we best deliver an experience with all the protections in place to keep people safe. I'm excited to share that we're going to be reaching out to the community here pretty soon to do a survey, because we want to truth what we're planning for, right? We don't want to just say, here, community, you need this. We want to hear from the community. What do you most need? What can we help you with? You're our community and we take care of you. So we want to make sure that we're meeting you where you're at and providing the services and program offerings that you need and that you want. And keep in mind, we're not going to be able to do everything. We are a different agency. We were the day that the pandemic was actually brought to bear. And we continue to evolve, and we will be a different agency. We will be better, we will be stronger, and we're going to be back in ways that will more specifically pinpoint where the community is today. And we'll continue testing that as we go through the rest of the year and we start teeing up our budgeting process for the next biennium. We want to, again, be able to deliver what the community needs from us most. That's what we do best. We take care of Tacoma.
Yes, you do. Lastly, in this last minute, my dear, what is it we can do to help Metro Parks?
I'm so glad you asked, Amanda. There's so much that everybody can do. One, be patient. Two, stay healthy. And when you do come to our park spaces, use them as if they are the most precious gift that you have to take care of, and recognize that the work that we are trying to continually manage just from an essential standpoint is critical, and we're maxed with just the 22% staff that we have left to do that. But when we get the full green light that we can really in earnest start incrementally turning that dial, let us get back to the work that we have to do. That's our normal body of work, not repairing any vandalism or destruction because of the frustrations that some people may have. And by all means, if you see something, say something. Help us be the great stewards that we continue to be and that we want to be, because this park system is going to come back stronger than ever, and we need our community to band together with us. We'll have plenty of volunteering opportunities, and we'll count on our community to help bring us back sooner than what we hope.
Absolutely. Phaedra, I cannot say thank you enough for taking time to be with us. And I want you back in my kitchen in about a month so we can check in and see where we are there. But until then, please, you have my heart. Stay healthy, and take care of you and your family as you take care of that Metro Parks family. Love you to the moon and back.
Thank you so much, Amanda. Thank you.